For those of you watching this series for the first time, my name's Mel. I'm the Director of Organisational Development at the Lumery, and this is a series where we peek under the hood with real life looms, just to see what it's kind of really like around here. And I will pepper Sammy with some questions and we'll just see where the conversation goes. So thanks for listening. Sammy, world famous Sammy, introduce yourself, tell the crowd about you, what you do around here, your history at TL. Over to you.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. I don't know about the world famous part, but
we'll come to that. We'll come to that because, there's a reason I've said that. So we'll come to that.
So I'm Senior MarTech Developer here at the Lumery in the MarTech Development team. And I've been here, almost since the beginning, one of the first hires here in the first 3 or 4.
Some people know their employee number. Do you have I was number 10 or I was number 20, or do you know what yours is?
It's one of those weird ones where I know logically where I am, but officially it's actually higher. It's an earlier number. So we'll go off the logical one. The logical number is 4.
Whoa, single digits.
Yeah.
That's
I won't go into the technical number because there's probably a lot of things I'm not allowed to mention. But
for the purposes of this, you were the 4th person employed by the co-founders to work at the Lumery. How many years ago?
That was about 5.5 years ago.
Yeah.
August 2017 was when I started. So, I don't want to say I've seen it all, but have seen the change for sure.
Yeah. Tell me what were some words you would use to describe the early days? Hit me with some words.
It was really just a lot of fun. I was still at uni, so it was the first glimpse into, I was going to say professional life, but it didn't feel all that professional. I guess that's why it was so fun. It was a lot of just still getting a lot of work done, but still just a lot of hanging out, chatting about anything, going out after work. But then even in the work, I felt like we were taking a lot of risks, had to learn quickly, had to pivot quickly. And that just level of problem solving had to do day in, day out just to get stuff done. And a lot of times stuff we'd never done before.
Yeah.
It was just a lot of fun. Even just the work was a lot of fun.
So what's it like now? 5.5 years later, we are now pushing over 90 staff. We've got people all over Australia. We've got a team in India. We've got a hub in Melbourne, Sydney. What's it like now? How would you describe it? And I hope you're not it's just not fun anymore. I hope it's still fun.
It's still fun. It's different though. I think doesn't feel as risky. There's always risk, but we're not not every day is a survival challenge. It's a bit more wiggle room. Way more process now. Before we were just going cowboy and just making stuff up as we went. Now we've got a process for everything, which is great. Makes it super easy to get your work done. Communication is different now because, like you say, now we're all over the planet basically. And when I started, there was 8 of us on one clump of desks. And obviously pre-COVID. So if you had a question, you would just stand up and ask someone that question. It's a bit more difficult now with that and with the different cities and even different time zones.
Yeah. So even the team you're in, Sammy, you've got someone in Queensland, Bangalore, Melbourne.
Yeah. Just one in Brisbane, one in Bangalore, and everyone else is in Melbourne. So within my team, it's not so challenging because a quarter or 3/4 of us are here. But we work on different accounts. Often they're in different states, different people across the country, planet. And then also everyone's just so busy now. So trying to find even just 10 minutes of someone's time when they've got meetings all day, or
Yeah.
not even meetings, just they need to block off calendar just to get work done.
Yeah. Busy.
You start to feel a bit guilty when you take out their 15-minute break,
Oh,
because it looks like that's it for the day. But
yeah.
you need to take it, otherwise stuff won't get done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a juggle, and that's pretty different to just stick your head up above the clump of desks and ask anyone anything and move forward.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get back to that, or at least start the movement to get back to that. I'm in the office pretty much every day.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Just because not just because I'm trying to recapture the good old days of year one of the Lumery, but I just find that collaboration
for sure
way more enjoyable.
Aren't you just in the office every day so you can admire the little trophy that sits at your desk? Isn't that the...
I mean, it's a nice perk, yeah.
So it's funny, Tammy. So I'm now in Tassie, as you know, and but before I moved to Tas, I was in the office heaps as well, right? Like you and I would cross paths, multiple days a week, and then chatting to people about like, oh, I'm not sure about coming to the office because I get so much done at home. Absolutely, you get heaps done at home, but the amount that I can also get done in the office by just grabbing people, quickly touching base on things, sticking my head up on the clump of desks, like you've said, like that's phenomenal. I actually find I get so much more done in terms of like nudging a lot of things forward without having to find those 10-15 minute meetings. So yeah, it's just a different purpose, isn't it? What you do when you're at home, maybe that deep focus time work, or those those meetings that you don't want to have in an open plan office, but then when you're in the office, it's like, wow, I've actually spoken to a whole bunch of people. Often I speak to people in the office that I'm like, wow, I wouldn't have even thought to touch base with them about that thing, but awesome that they're there. Let's talk about it. So it's interesting. It is interesting. Tell me what keeps you at the Lumery. What keeps you here?
I would say that there's, to me, two things. The first one, from a professional level, is I feel like, I mean, not just because it was my first real job, but I've learned so much here, and I'm still learning a lot of stuff here, across a lot of different things, developing my own skill set here. So that, opportunity to develop myself is a key reason why, I still want to be here, why it's still a lot of fun to be here. And the other reason I'm more of a personal level is just the people. People here are great. Being, like I said, the fourth one in, I've seen pretty much everyone come and go. And they've all been great. People here are still awesome. Also, one of the reasons why I come in every day, just because I want to see everyone, every day as much as possible. Just makes, to me, it doesn't feel worthwhile working from home every day, or not connecting with people, not even daily, but just not connecting with them at all. And yeah, just the amount of care that everyone has in each other, and the care in everyone's work as well. Like it's not just let's go and grab lunch every day and take a few hours off. It's let's be smart about it. We want to hang out, but also we're here to get our work done. And I don't want to stop you from getting your work done, because everyone here, what feels like, enjoys the work, and they want to get it done to the highest level possible. So everyone's just committed to doing that themselves, but also allowing other people to do it.
That's awesome. I always smile to myself, Sam, at the end of a workday. Sometimes I'm there just a bit later than usual, and I'll look around and the workday is done, but there'll be you and Kate talking about something that you're both kind of working on, or it'll be, Lockie picking Paul's brain about something. And it's just really cool that, people genuinely care about the work, about each other, about learning. So they are taking these opportunities to kind of pick each other's brains and share knowledge. And I think that's awesome that people are like, no one's expected to stay after 5 o'clock, but people are choosing to because they get caught up in some awesome conversation about something, and off they go. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Hey, what do your friends think you do for a living?
It's one of the hardest things I have to do regularly is explain what I do. Because it either falls into two camps. People just think I build websites day in, day out, And then the other half of people think that I'm in charge of, sending them those targeted ads on Facebook, when they've talked to their friend about, I need to buy a new couch, and then they get ads for couches all day, every day.
Did they ask you? Are they like, Sam, is that you? Did you make that happen?
Yeah, constantly. People, and then I guess the other part of that is people just think we're big data, and sure, we're big data adjacent, but we're not directly in big data. And if we do use it, I would like to say we use it in a responsible way. But trying to explain that to people, going, yeah, we sort of use big data, but they don't really want to hear the but part of it.
Yeah, they get caught on the first bit. A friend of mine messaged the other day, having seen posts on LinkedIn, and she's like, what is MarTech? And I was like, you tell me, what do you think it is? I was like, do some Googling, check out our website. What do you think it is? And she's like, is it a piece of technology that the Lumery has created and owns? So even like the field of MarTech, let alone what, we do in our actual day-to-day, seems like it's still this amazing new concept, and, explaining it to people that it's not just, I can say to people I'm a psychologist, they've got an idea of what that means, right?
Yeah.
What does your mum think? What does your mum think you do for a living?
Well, it's probably a bit of a cheat code for mum, because a lot of my family members have also been in this industry.
Totally.
I've sort of been brought up in
advantage.
it. So she knows what I do. It's adjacent to what my dad and my uncle and other family
She could reel it
do.
off.
So
she'll be like, well, he does this, and this.
I don't think she could explain it. I think she understands it to a certain degree.
Yeah.
But I don't think if someone asked her, I think she would probably just say, oh, he works on websites, because it's easier to say that.
And then move the conversation on.
Yeah.
I hear you are up for some kind of award, Sammy. Go on. What is it?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's always
very cool.
Or feels awesome to get recognized for something. But I've been shortlisted for the B&Ts 30 under 30 awards, specifically in the tech category. It's pretty cool. I mean, the shortlist is, I think, 15 people. So to be in that top 15, no matter what happens on the actual announcement, just to be in that top 15 is a pretty cool achievement. I think
it's awesome. That's great. When's it announced? There's a big dinner or something, right? You got a big awards ceremony to go to?
I think so. I don't know how big it is. I know that there is a thing to go to. It's at I can't remember the exact date, but it's on at the end of March. So I think in a couple of weeks.
All right. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Exactly.
Yeah, but you're right. Even just being nominated, full stop, being someone who's actually eligible to meet that criteria is pretty phenomenal. And then getting shortlisted, because I've had a look at the list of names and companies that you're up against. Like, it's pretty impressive. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Yeah. It was also just felt like a huge honor. Just even when I got approached by AJ and Tay going, we want to put you forward, even just that by itself, even if it wasn't on the shortlist, just to be even recognized by my own, where I work is still.
It's really great. Yeah.
Can't put it to words, but yeah.
It's awesome. It's a huge nod to, I think, people like AJ, even Tay, have seen you here for so long, right? They've seen you from the start. So for them to be going, this is where he's at, and these are the caliber of people that he is in alignment with. It's a huge nod to your skills. So it's great. It's awesome. I did offer to write your nomination for you, but you said no. So that's,
I mean, it was one of those things where I was super pumped about it first, and then I got into it for an hour and I was like, I don't want to do this. So I should have taken
talk about yourself a whole lot of words. Always tricky. Give me 5 words to describe the Lumery right now, and I'll be like a random movie generator, and I'll tell you the first movie that comes to mind. 5 words.
What does ChatGPT say? Can we just pump all those words in and get
do it? Fun, caring, time spent together, loving the work. And I reckon you could put in there like equality as well. Let's see what ChatGPT's got to say.
Now you put ChatGPT on the spot.
The one that's coming to my mind. Have you seen? And this is very front of mind because the third series came out in Australia yesterday. Ted Lasso. Have you been watching Ted Lasso?
I have. I didn't watch the episode that came out yesterday, but
no, me either.
I've watched.
Do you think it could be like that? Do you think the Lumery could be like Ted Lasso, kind of?
I guess to a certain extent. I don't know how I feel, because I'm going to assume that I'm not the Ted Lasso character in that. So I don't know how I feel like being a terrible soccer player on a terrible team.
Or being like aggro Roy Kent. Who's
yeah. I could have been the grumpy guy for sure. I think that sort of does fit though, just a little bit, right? Like we've got that, is it beloved? Blanking on his thing, but he writes believe on yellow paper that's above the door. So while we don't have that, we do have looms first somewhere. I think it's in a neon sign somewhere. And it is, and I think even you post them everywhere around, like the pillars, like the give a shit and the looms first and the be curious and all that stuff. So I think that sort of does fit in there into the Ted Lasso idea.
I think so too. You go.
Because it's not just about, in the show being the best football player, it's, being the best people. And I think we try to do that as well. Obviously strive to be the best at what you do, but it's at the end of the day, it's not all about that. It's about, caring for each other, having good work-life balance, all that sort of stuff. I think that does fit, actually. I never thought about TV show. I was too narrow focused on movies.
Yeah. All right, Ted Lasso it is. The Lumery is like Ted Lasso because we focused on the end result. We want to win at our crafts. We want to be a great team, but we also just want to win at being good people, having good lives, looking after one another, doing good work.
Yeah, I might have to start growing the mustache back though, just to fit in.
I love his character too, right? Like he's honest. He's not perfect. He owns his kind of his foibles, and yet has a great moustache. That's true.
Yeah.
You did have the mo after Movember. I did strongly encourage you to keep it. I don't know what happens.
Yeah, I've had different phases of just like not hitting a wall, but just for some reason just blowing it up one day and get rid of it, and then the next day regretting it. So
is that what happened? It was an impulsive decision.
Yeah, that's absolutely what it was. 100%.
You kept it for a while. All right. Any last words you want to share, Sam, with people that watch these videos are often people thinking of joining us and might have questions or want to know, what it's really like working for us. So any other reflections for people as they have gone under the hood with us into the Lumery? Any other parting thoughts?
I think it's just to reiterate all that last stuff we were just talking about. Like, we're not just a company consultancy agency that wants to just get stuff done, sign the next contract, move on. It's all about taking care in the work that you do, the people that you work with, and even like the clients and the customers that we work for. I mean, like, it's just care at every level from top to bottom, even, top to bottom in terms of the work, but also the people. The four founders have done a great job setting up that whole framework of transparency and communication between everyone. And while they may not be having conversations with the people right at the bottom, they're certainly available and open to doing that, which I think is pretty special.
Yeah, I would say I wouldn't even ever think about us having tops and bottoms, right? It's like such an amazing kind of like everyone's accessible, everyone's approachable. You can grab people when you need them. Might not be as easy as sticking your head up like a meerkat over the desks like it used to be. But yeah, everyone is around, which is pretty special for sure. All right. Thank you, Sammy, for joining me for this episode of Under the Hood. And let's discuss, after we've both watched episode 1, series 3 of Ted Lasso, see if it's as good as the first 2 series.
Will do. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Sammy. See ya.
Wasn't it?